Hey, welcome to Men on Scandal. This is our weekly show where we recap every episode of Scandal from a male perspective. In Washington, D.C. is Troy Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm Tony Scott in Dallas. Mark Clark's not with us today. So this episode is called The Fish Rots from the Head.
Yeah. Is that true?
I guess.
Tony, you lived in Galveston.
Yeah.
Did you catch a fish and it was kind of like, seen a better day?
No, I never went fishing. I'm fishing. You got to be very, very patient to go fishing.
That's true.
Because you just sit there.
One of those cloudy-eyed fish, like, we better hurry up and put some cornmeal on this one.
That's right. That's the only way I want to see a fish. But so this episode starts out with Olivia telling Melly that she has to get Fitz to not endorse anyone. He can't endorse his vice president. He can't endorse. That's the only, because there's no way he'll ever endorse Melly.
Right.
That's not going to happen. So Olivia says, and understand something. I don't work for you. I can't work for you. Because the optics on this would be just terrible. But it's unofficial advice. You got to get Fitz to not endorse anybody.
Well, which is a long shot.
Yeah.
What president is going to let that happen?
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here. I'm thinking about my legacy, and whoever is coming after me, I expect them to kind of carry on some of the things I got started with.
Right.
I don't know.
What's up with that?
Right.
So Fitz is getting his flirt on, man.
Man,
he is getting his flirt on. He's a single man. What happened to Lillian Forrester, man? What happened to her last week? I mean, a couple weeks ago. She gone already?
That's just one of the Forresters in the trees. 'Cause he's chopping them all down.
Abby's come up with rules, man. If a woman's invited to the residence, she has to sign a non-disclosure. She's got to give up her cell phone before she gives up the draws.
Apparently, she can't bring a comb with her either. They were coming out of their hair tousled up.
Yeah. And in the background, they're playing Use Me by Bill Withers. Shonda. Yeah. Nice. Hey, Cyrus has lunch with the governor of Pennsylvania, Frankie Vargas, and Sally Langston walks in, and she asks the governor to come on her show, and he says, "I will if I can." And did she call Cyrus? Oh, it's little Cyrus Bean.
Oh, it's little Cyrus Bean. I barely saw you sitting there.
What is that?
A condescending Southern woman.
Yes. And, of course, Governor Vargas says, she's crazy. And so are her viewers. They're crazy, too. I'm not going on that crazy woman show. Yeah, okay.
Cyrus is like, she's got 15 million people watching her show.
He says, you got 15 million crazy people watching her show. Secret Service Sam tells, Secret Service Sam tells, let me get this right over here. Tells Abby that a Secret Service party at a hotel got out of hand. And Abby calls OPA, and one of the girls at the party is dead. But she was wearing that dress, though. You notice that she was wearing that dress? She was a corpse she was wearing that dress. That dress, though, man.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Well, hey.
So the girl, like love. The girl's name is Megan, and she was with Fantasia, whose real name is Aaron. They're both hookers. They were dancing when Megan fell and hit her head. And Megan was a junkie. Which, being a junkie is actually worse than, like, being a whore. I mean, there's nothing worse than being called a junkie, man. Because a junkie kind of implies that you're doing everything and everybody. That's just so, doesn't it? I mean, you can call somebody a cokehead, you can call them a crackhead, you can call people a crack hoe, you can call them a whore. But if you call them a junkie, man, they're doing everything.
That's hitting the lowest rung? Is that it, Tony?
Yeah, I think so, man. Rung? I think so, man.
Man.
So Marcus asked Olivia, so we're really going to cover this up? And she says it was an accident. She's a hooker, so yes. And apparently OPA, they outsource part of the cleanup now because, they got part of the wipe down, Yeah. Man, I wonder how much that is, a private company charges to do that. That's got to be pretty expensive because you're also paying for my silence.
Yeah, well, confidentiality agreement and, the business can be good, though, apparently.
Well, apparently so, yes. Oh, man.
Somebody's got to clean it up.
But the whole thing doesn't sit well with the Reverend Marcus. So we'll see where that takes us. Olivia is stalking Jake in her car. She's looking through a window in a restaurant where he's whining and dining a woman, and Abby gets in the car, and they get to talking and stuff. But Olivia is focused on Jake. What is he up to?
Yeah.
What is he doing? So in bed, David tells Susan that she needs to ask the president for his support for president. And Susan has doubts about asking Fitz for help. Fitz has a lot of baggage.
Yes.
And it goes against her principles, So, Liz tells David, well, what's going on here? We have a system. You do what I tell you to get her to do what I want her to do. Now drop your pants. What is that? What is... What?
That's what he wants too, though.
Well, yeah.
He really wants some of that.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's falling on a lot of grenades, though.
Yes, he is. Cyrus tells Fitz to carve out 10 minutes for Governor Vargas. And so he does. Fitz barely remembers him, though. Is that governor that like took down that assassin? Is that who you're talking about? Come on, man. Really? You don't know? This dude is that played out on the national news.
Bonafide hero.
In Shondaland, he's a bona fide hero. And you're saying, is he that guy? Yes, Fitz, he's that guy. Yes, he is that guy. And Fitz shut Vargas down. They were going to talk about Vargas's education bill, and Fitz just he called it. What did he call it?
Entitlement.
Entitlement.
Yeah. Entitlement program of yours.
I'm
not sorry,
a bill.
It's free education. What do you mean entitlement? But Cyrus set it up, though. Cyrus asked him to kind of, let him have it.
Cyrus is just a virtuoso sometimes, man.
Yes, he is.
Vargas decides to go on Sally Langston's show and talk about his education bill. So we'll see.
That's
what
good thinking, Governor.
Did you see that? And he also gave Fitz one of those too. When Fitz says, "I'll give him 3 minutes," and not 10. He kind of said something along the same lines, like, "Good call."
Yeah. I'm playing all of y'all. Where's my fiddle at?
Man. So Quinn tells Huck that Olivia's bored. She's bored with life. She's bored with the job. She's got no love life other than Jake being her booty call. But that don't seem to be, it's going to come to an end at some point.
They don't know that though, do they? Don't know that.
I don't think they know that they're booty calls for each other.
Yeah.
But then Marcus comes in and says, "Hey, you know what? This hooker, I don't think she was an accident. I think she was murdered because he says somebody deleted all her data from her cell phone and from her cloud." Mm-hmm. And you get when you get into a hooker's cloud. I'm just saying. Vargas goes on the Liberty Report. He said he wouldn't do the show because she was crazy, but he's on there.
Yeah.
And Cyrus is watching with Michael. And Michael is braiding a doll's hair so he can get better at braiding Ella's hair. Mm-hmm. Ella gets a shout out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And his husband gets a shout out.
And his husband showed up too.
I haven't seen him since last season.
That's right. Cyrus calls Agent Tom to tell him to find out why Vargas doesn't want to run for president. And Michael says, "Well, who's Tom? What was that about?" Because in this episode, Tom and Cyrus were in the limo, and wasn't that Tom that was straightening out Cyrus's tie?
Yes.
Like he was like,
And Tony, I asked you about this a week or two ago, and he was taking a shower.
Yeah. Came out in the towel. So something going on there?
I don't know. They don't call him a secret agent for nothing.
I guess not. Liz suggests to Fitz that Susan go on the Liberty Report to tear down Vargas's education bill. And Fitz says, yeah, make it happen. So that's going to happen. Marcus is back. He's got the autopsy. Where do you get the autopsy? Where does that fall into your hands? You're not related to the Megan, the hooker who died with the Secret Service party. You're not. How do you get your hands on that, man? You're good. You're really good.
Hey, I'm no joke. I ran for mayor.
Megan the hooker died. She died before she was given the drugs. And Olivia tells Marcus, you know what? We don't investigate clients as possible suspects. Leave it alone. And that really troubles Marcus because he's about the community. He's like injustice. He's about injustice. This clearly is an injustice. I get that. Melly, meantime, drops Teddy off with Fitz. And then she asks Fitz for a minute. But then Lisa from Treasury pops out in a robe.
Oh, boy.
And then Melly whispers to Fitz, he can screw as many whores as he wants to, but keep them away from our children. Why does whispering, when you're angry and you whisper, that's worse than when you scream at somebody when you're angry. Because you go up to somebody, you go, I'll tell you one damn thing right now. You ever do that again? And if you scream it out, it doesn't have as much venom as if you whisper it. Why is that, man?
Well, Tony, because it's up close and personal. It's in your ear.
Yeah.
It's like a dragon breathing fire right onto your eardrum. Like, you're not going to forget this. Let's call this a note to the entire world. That's how you address a conflict in front of children.
Yes.
Instead of beating each other's asses
and cussing each other out.
And cussing each other out.
Yes.
How about trying that?
Yes.
Hey, let me talk to you for a second.
Yes.
Yeah. And then because obviously it was so awkward. It was so, and let me take your child too. I'm leaving.
Teddy's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I thought we were staying for a movie.
Nope.
There are too many shows going on around here. We'll go on and do something else.
Yep. Hey, Melly tells Olivia about Fitz and Lisa and how Lisa reeked of sex. She told Teddy that Lisa spilled something on her clothes, the robe, which is why she had on the robe.
Right.
And Melly says, which is probably true. She probably did spill something on her clothes.
Well, Monica Lewinsky
yes.
shout out.
Melly says it's Fitz's thing now that he's whoring around. And the Secret Service is covering it up. That has Olivia thinking, Now she's thinking about her client, her case with the Secret Service party. And Melly asks her, are you jealous? Did he seen other women now? Because she says, I'm used to it. I'm not even married to him, man. I'm used to him being a whore. He was whoring around with you.
You were the one in the row. Jeez.
Olivia tells her team to find out if Megan's death was an accident or not. Find out. Well, how would you know that? I mean, how do you do that? I guess that's a world I'm not familiar with. But anyway, Liz booked Susan on the Liberty Report, but she didn't tell Susan she was doing this, and Susan has a problem with it because she doesn't really care for the Liberty Report. David shows up with flowers, and Susan wants David to decide who's right and who's wrong. Susan does the show. And she calls Vargas's education bill, she calls it a dud. A dud. But for real, though, I mean, when she said it, you could tell she wasn't believing what she was saying.
Yeah, she regretted that.
Yeah, she did regret that. So Fitz bets down another. And when they're done, she was getting ready to write an article on something in the kitchen, wasn't she? Like on something on...
Yes. Man,
he's getting them from everywhere, man.
Oh, man.
And then she asked him to comment on Olivia running Melly's campaign on the low. And, of course, he doesn't answer, but it's like, see, you could have made the cut. You could have made it to the next round, Miss Lady, but now you turn into a reporter before you had your drawers on.
Well, she said, I have to put my journalist drawers back on at some point.
No, man. You can't start asking the president's business as a reporter when you've just had sex with him if the nipple is still out of the bra.
Well, she's,
That's got to be a rule. Somebody write that down somewhere.
She knew she was about to be ushered out of there.
Well,
so
she did. I think
she figured I better get my question in before I leave.
Man.
Had a great time, but I do have a job to do.
Agent Tom tells Cyrus that Vargas' daughter is sick with cancer. That's why he won't run for president. He doesn't want to be away from her. Vargas tells Cyrus that he wants to go back on Sally. Cyrus says, you should live your life like you've been living it. You shouldn't even do this anymore. It's a noble thing the way you're living your life. And then Cyrus proceeds to tell him this great, sad story about his brother, Cyrus's brother Oliver, who was hit by a car and was paralyzed from the neck down, and he wanted Cyrus to be the president, and that's what Cyrus motivated him into a life of politics and stuff. He didn't quite make it as president and all this stuff like that, and it really moved Frankie Vargas.
Yeah.
The problem is it was crap.
It was a lie.
it was total crap. But he told that story really well.
Did. Yeah, he did.
He really well, man. He really told that story well. So Olivia is asleep in her bed when she wakes up to see Jake there. And not Jake from State Farm.
No.
He reminds her
khakis
that he's the head of the NSA, and she's only allowed to keep tabs on him like she's been doing if he allows it. Well, I'm the head of the NSA. I know what you're doing. And if I don't want you to do it, you won't do it.
Well, hello. She pulled up in front of the restaurant like he couldn't see her. She's not good at this, man. Not good at this.
I mean, pull up in a Buick or something. She probably pulled up in a Tesla.
Right. With Pope 1 on the license plate.
Yeah, yeah. So Jake asks Olivia, what does she think about his girlfriend, Vanessa? He says that she's perfect, but she's not you. That's what he tells Olivia Pope.
Yeah.
Of course, no one can do for you what I can do for you. Then he pulls back the sheets.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts doing something on a digital level.
He gave her an Olivia poke.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, he did. And as good as it feels to Olivia, she tells him to stop.
Yeah, but right after
Yeah.
she took her time.
Yeah, she did take her time.
Okay, stop. I'm good now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, what are you up to? That's what she. What are you up to? And he says, I'm out. I'm gone. He says goodbye. He's gone. Peace out.
Yeah.
Man. So going back to those two hookers who were at the Secret Service party, the one who's still alive, Fantasia, is booked to Quinn's apartment. And when she gets there, she sees Marcus. And she goes, oh, okay, a little freaky deaky thing. And she starts running down her price list, right? She, this for this, I do this for one of y'all. I don't charge if you just want to watch while you wait your turn.
Yeah.
Right? So they say, no, we're going to pay you for your time, but we need answers about the Secret Service party. And she goes, I'm a lot of things, I'm not a snitch. And to me, it's like, there are worse things than being a snitch. Like being a whore.
Apparently today I learned being a junkie is the worst ever.
That's the worst thing ever. Man. She doesn't want to say anything, but they kind of guilt her into it when they tell her that, she was still alive when they pumped her with that lethal dose of heroin. The Secret Service didn't want to pay her, the girls for their performances, so they gave Megan. They want to pay Megan, so they gave her a double dose of heroin. This is what happened.
Why would they do that?
Because they're the Secret Service and they think they're invincible. Olivia tells Abby what happened, and Abby says, "Well, you can't say anything because they're your clients. You can't do anything." And Olivia tells Abby, "They're not my clients. You're my client. You hired me. I'm not doing anything to you." I think is what she was implying. So technically, you talk about technicality. Technically, right. They're not my client. You're my clients. I'm not getting you in trouble. I don't know if I was buying that one, man.
Yeah, she went the long way around. I mean, it was a good stalling tactic, perhaps. Because, you're right. Because it was like, well, you called about the situation, but they are the ones that needed, Yeah. Plus, you have that blurry line between, are we doing this for the government?
Right.
Or these individual people? And Fitz's presidency is involved and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Olivia goes to see Fitz. Now, this is very interesting because they haven't seen each other since they broke up 6, maybe now 7 months ago. There have been no communication at all. And Fitz comes in and she tells Fitz what the Secret Service agents did. And then she brings up Fitz's transgressions of late. And he asks her about her working on Melly's campaign. What about that? And Olivia says, well, that's none of your business. And he comes back with, but my bedroom is your business? But, all that aside, what she told him as she was leaving changed everything. And this is where the name of the episode comes, because she says, the fish rots from the head. Mm-hmm. The Secret Service, they're taking their cues from you. Olivia explains to Fitz how his behavior is affecting Teddy, his son, how it's affecting the people that he works for him every day, they work for him every day, how it affects the American people. And then here's the one that I think made his butt cheeks tighten up when she says, are you Big Jerry now? Are you your daddy now? And we all know how foul your daddy was.
Right.
And I think that really hit home, man.
Yeah, it did.
I think that one cut deep, man. That cut deep, man.
That did cut deep.
Yeah, I think it cut deep. So, because I think it got him in order.
Damn you, Olivia.
So Abby
how do you come in foul but still leave with the
smelling clean and fresh
like a rose?
Yes, and here I am, a whoremonger.
I got lectured. I'm the president of the United States,
and I got lectured by my ex side piece
in my office.
Wow. Abby and Agent Sam are waiting for the next honey to step off the elevator. The next contestant on The Price is Fitz.
Yeah.
But it turned out it's Susan Ross. The president wants to see her. And Fitz asks Susan Ross, his vice president, if she likes Vargas's education plan. And she says yes. And he says, why did you torpedo it on national TV? And she says, well, everybody was telling me I need to do this. I need to be a team player. And it actually felt gross. And he says, that's a good thing. That means you're not changing. And Fitz says, do me a favor and never lie to the American people again.
Do what I don't do.
That's right. Yeah, be everything I'm not.
Yeah. That's the way he should have said it.
He gives her his endorsement, but she says, well, if I'm speaking honestly, I'm not sure if I want your endorsement.
Right.
Your endorsement comes with a lot of baggage.
Ain't that the truth?
But then he tells her, you know what? You need my endorsement, and I'm going to work to prove to you that my endorsement is good, is what he essentially said.
That's what he did say.
Susan,
I'm going to help you. I'm going to earn being the president that's going to endorse you.
Yeah.
Now, right after the 2 more women come and visit me, I'm going to get right on that.
That's right. That's right.
I got a double header tonight.
Right after Belle and Summer leave.
That's right. I got you.
Fitz tells the press that the Secret Service agents have been fired, the ones that had the party, the ones that killed Megan, and that they will be prosecuted. And then he hands it over to David, the attorney. You forget sometimes David's the attorney general.
Yeah.
But he says we're going to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. So Vargas is at Cyrus's place, and they're getting ready to have a drink. And then Vargas says, leave the ice out and all that. I'm thinking, wait a minute, what is this? What the hell? What? I mean, come on, what the hell? Some more hanky-panky here? What's going on here? But that's not it at all, because Vargas is a straight-up guy. But he's getting into bed with the devil. Let's be honest, man.
He doesn't know it, though.
Because Cyrus is the devil's campaign manager, man.
No doubt about it.
He really is. And they're talking, and then, Vargas tells Cyrus, I want you to run my campaign for president. So after you went on Sally and told her there's no way in hell you're going to run for president, now you decided to run for president. And what got him to change his mind, in my opinion, was the Oliver story.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells Cyrus about his daughter Anna having cancer, and her prognosis is not good. And so they're talking, and then Michael walks in. This is Cyrus's husband. What is it? Husband, right?
Yes.
Husband, yes.
Yes, Tony. Two men married to
husband. Okay. All right, Michael interrupts and asks Cyrus if he wants to say goodnight to Ella. So Ella got 2 mentions today. When was the last time that happened?
The last time Michael said it. That's the only reason he's on the show.
And of course, Vargas says, I'm going to do this, your brother and all this stuff like this. And Michael, after he leaves, Michael says, who's he talking about? He says, my brother. And Michael says, I thought you were an only child. He says, I am. What's like to him? So when Vargas finds out, and he will, because nobody keeps a secret.
He's not going to find out, Tony.
He's going to find out, man.
He's not going to find out. It'll be too late.
No, I mean he may still run for president, but he'll fire Cyrus.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't think that's ever gonna.
Because he's a straight up dude, man.
He's
Obama on TV.
That's true.
Minus the sick daughter. Please, God, please. I'm not putting that out there.
Right. I don't know, Tony. We disagree. I don't think that Oliver ever comes up again.
I don't know, man. Interesting how his brother's name is Oliver, and one of his closest friends used to be Olivia.
It was a Oliver twist.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Yes. Olivia Pope shows up for dinner at her dad's house, and he's like really trying to blow. He says, you never come, you never want to eat here. We always go out to eat. Why are you here now? I'm here now. And, of course, then she hears the champagne glasses clanging in the next room. And so he says, come on in. And it's Jake there with his Vanessa. And apparently they're getting married.
Told you not to stop by people's houses. I told you. Don't do it.
Man. The thing is that, okay, so Jake knows about him and Olivia, obviously. And of course, Eli Pope knows and Olivia knows. So you're the only one in the room, Vanessa. You have no clue what you're getting into. You have no clue at all. That you just got engaged into the worst possible scenario for your life.
Yeah.
That is, wow. My heart just fell for her, man, because I was like, she has no clue. She thinks she knows, she don't know.
Well, yes. Unsuspecting young lady. And you know what's going to happen, Tony? Well, of course, Jake and Olivia are going to have a special conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And probably going to end up doing it, too, at the same time. Because he's basically said that, look, that's my girlfriend, but you're who I want to be with.
Well, I'll say this, man. Within the next 2, maybe 3 episodes, Olivia and Fitz will be back in bed again.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. They can't live with each other or without each other. They'd rather be miserable together than miserable apart.
So the entree is, I see you followed my advice.
That'll be it. He simmered down, and now she's like, going to take another look at the situation. Maybe we can make this work. Maybe he is changing. Maybe he will listen to me.
Doesn't have to be it won't be in the Oval Office much longer.
No, that's true. Yeah. See, so the whole thing, maybe Vermont is going to happen. No, you know what? Vermont will never happen because that's what everybody wants. The viewers want this for her, and that's not going to happen. That's not just.
All right, fine.
It's not going to happen.
All right, Santa Monica then. Let's go back to home to California.
Let's move to the islands and let's get a condo that overlooks hedonism. How about we do that?
Hey, now you're talking.
So let's go back a little bit, man. Do you think what Marcus did as far as, finding out that Megan was in fact murdered by the Secret Service, do you think him sticking with that, do you think that warms the ice between him and Huck?
Huck was like, good job, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that the beginning of the thaw between them two that Huck initiates because he doesn't want Marcus to be like him and Quinn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But you know what? He'll end up, since we're talking about the long theme, how about this? He ends up running OPA because Olivia goes off to Vermont/California or wherever. Aha. He's gonna have the white coat. He's that kind of guy.
Something will happen that either that or she'll go to jail for something or she'll get kidnapped or something like that, and he'll have to call the shots.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, or she's just done with it. If she said, Quinn said she's not into this anymore. If her out is, as you say, to get back with Fitz, his presidency is getting close to the end. They can ride off into the sunset and leave all of this stuff behind.
Yeah. True that. So that's the episode. The fish rots from the head, man. What did I miss?
You didn't miss anything, Tony. I just thought probably the most interesting scene was between Melly and Fitz with the kid.
With the kid and the Lisa from Treasury in the robe.
Boy, oh boy,
man,
that was
sloppy.
That was something. Because he was bitching about something. No, I don't have time to talk to you, Fitz. The woman comes out with it. Like, how are you gonna?
Yeah.
How are you gonna roll like that when you being that shady?
Man.
Your son is coming over,
and you still got old girl there.
Yeah.
Get her out, man. You're the one person who can get her out without any ramifications or any ramifications that you'll have to deal with. You're the leader of the free world. Right. You want side piece number 7 to disappear. You can just have your boys like, hey, here's your clothes. Here's some cab fare. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Well, Tony, maybe he wasn't quite finished. It was movie night.
Yeah, it was.
But once you put Toy Story 3 on.
But see. But you know what? To be honest, he was in that mindset, though, until Olivia read him in the Oval. He was in that mindset. He was going to be bagging, 2-3 chicks a week or a day. You know, that was his thing, right?
Something going on.
He had the fever.
Boy, newfound freedom. Well, when somebody tells you, okay, here's the plan. We have to make sure all of these things are lined up correctly and da-da-da-da. Oh, you're going to set it up for me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then let's go.
Let's make it happen, Captain.
Hey.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
hesitation.
So on some level, Abby setting these rules in place to actually protect him, she enabled him.
Yes.
And then him flaunting and being sloppy with it kind of, in a sense, kind of enabled the Secret Service because then they got sloppy with their business.
Which, you know, I mean, you're the president. You can take some liberties.
Yeah.
The Secret Service, you can't. You know?
No, they're watching you, man.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the show. The episode again called The Fish Rots from the Head. If you can share this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You'll get emailed when all of our shows come out. So appreciate you checking us out. Troy Johnson is sitting in Washington. What's the weather like there, man?
60 degrees, some rain, you know, springtime.
I went for a walk earlier, man, and it was 82.
Yeah, well, you know, that's Texas for you.
Yes.
And, you know, what we have to look forward to, Tony, I don't know if you know about this. When we get good and warm, you know, because temperatures are, you know, we've already had a little taste of the 80s and all that stuff. It's coming. It's going to be very warm here, like it always is.
Mm-hmm.
The cicadas are coming. Yay!
Cicada!
Yes.
I heard that. Well, get ready, man.
I can't stand those things, man.
Yeah.
I hate them.
They go. When I grew up in South Texas, man, it was they were everywhere. And they'd attach to a fence and just dry up.
Yeah. Well, they have sex and then they die. Basically, it's a big ass party. They have sex and then the larvae go back into the ground. Around here, 17 years.
Wow.
This is like the brood. It's brood X. It's like the biggest.
Wow.
And I said to myself 17 years ago, I'll never see these things again.
And they're back.
And I'm still here.
Man.
Oh yeah.
So I guess Fitz in a way is a cicada, right? He's about time for him to dry up, right? Anyway, that's Troy Johnson in Washington, D.C. I'm Tony Scott in Dallas. Mark Clark will join us next time. Thanks for watching Men on Scandal. We'll see you soon.